Hello, hello, hello. I figured I would come and say hi here, there, and everywhere just before the storm breaks. We are getting some clouds of something, something. I guess you can't see it. It's such a shame because you can see the layers of the mountains out there. It's just so beautiful. Different shades of like layers of white, like veils of white in front of the more distant mountains. And it's just glorious. I'm not muted, am I? No, good. Yay! How did it get even better? So hello and welcome to my balcony. Another side of my balcony. It's the ever-growing balcony. And before I even talk about anything, I have to show you guys this. Oh my goodness. Look what we did here. We're so excited. We planted down below too, but we also planted here. That is my friend the Yedra. There is a really cool, I don't know if you can see it. My son created a layered landscaped pot, and then we've got a Xanadu and a kumquat tree, and I'm so excited. And they're so happy to contribute to me that all day, not all day, because I did go out a couple of times, but most of the day, I've been on this side of the balcony, so I feel like I'm hanging into the nature that's around me. And then those guys get to say, hi, I'm here energetically, which has been a lot of fun. Hi, hola, Helen. Hi. Helen or Uriel, I don't know, but hello. Wow. So I had a thought before I began, and then it kind of disappeared. So I'm going to begin. Oh, I remember. I was talking about greatness. How often are we allowing ourselves to step into the greatness that we are? How often do we allow others to step into the greatness that they are? Or do we, in some sort of subtle way, prefer for them to stay exactly as they were? Hi. Hola, Guadalajara. So do you prefer for them to stay as they are, or do you allow them to breathe in, breathe out, shift and change, just as you let you breathe in, breathe out, shift and change? And do you allow yourself to shift and change as well? I've been noticing, there's a few things that are kind of coming into my world right now. It's the week between Rosh Hashanah. We had the Jewish high. We are in the midst of the high holidays. So we had the Jewish New Year, and now we're going to have Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement. But to me, it's the day of allowance. It isn't about atoning for sins, but allowing everyone to choose what they choose, allowing yourself the space to be able to make a different choice at any point in time. And so we're in a really cool period of time. And I'm also wrapping up a 7-week series with a group of amazing people who've chosen to look at living beyond the distractor implants. And we named it Presence, Power, and Potency. They're like these things that we don't generally tend to choose from, especially power has such a, oh no, you can't be too powerful. Oh no, you can't be too much. Oh no, you can't be too great. Like, that's not permissible, not allowed, according to this somebody in this world, maybe not everybody. But the thing is, oh, there's a lot of things going on through my head. First of all, everywhere we've bought that as real and true for us. Everywhere we've adopted our surrounding points of view. They may be from our parents, they may be from neighbors, they may be from, distant relatives, they may be from just people that we've seen, be it, in the news or on TV, or maybe even classmates. Where have we adopted other people's points of view and adapted ourselves to meet those points of view and not permitted ourselves to be the space and the expansion and the joy of us? So everywhere you may have done that, everywhere you may not have even realized that you've done that, but somehow You're duplicating things that don't even belong to you, that wouldn't be choices that you would make. Everything that is, would you be willing to let it go, please? And consider just choosing again. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. We were doing in today's energy pulls, Helen Gitlovich and I are doing 10 days of energy pulls together. And today was day 5. And we kept asking, and who does this belong to? And who does this belong to? And it is amazing when you begin to ask, who does this belong to? For literally everything, but not just once. Just sit with yourself, just the next few moments as we're here together on this whatever Zoom stream, whatever this thing is called, wherever you're watching this. What if, just for these few moments, as you're watching, just keep asking, who does this belong to? 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 The recognition that so much of how we've been creating our life, what we've been creating our life from, the perspective that we've had about how the world works, how we work, most of that isn't ours, even though it feels so real, it feels so intense, it feels so true. But is it really? And if you were truly being you, what would you be choosing? Would you be choosing that, or would you be choosing something different? And there's no getting anything right. It's just recognizing that there's always another choice just waiting. And most of us tend to choose from itsy bitsy teeny weeny little tiny asks and itsy bitsy little, we don't want to make waves. We don't want to rock the boat. It reminded me of an old joke that my mom would tell me, which I can't even remember completely, but I do remember it was something to do with people in hell. And, they were saying, don't make waves, because everything was full of shit. It was, I guess, a metaphor for this world, but I've lost the joke. And so that's kind of pointless, but it was funny. Like, don't make waves lest, you eat any of the shit. Not worth doing that. What if you make the biggest waves? What if shit doesn't have anything to do with you? And what if, this actually came up in another conversation, what if what looks like shit, at this distance, what looks like a difficulty, what looks like a problem, what looks like a challenge, long term, or if you look from just a different perspective, just a different point of view, look entirely different. One person's trash may be another person's treasure. That thing that looks like a problem to you may be a world of possibilities for another person. And all it takes is looking from a different perspective and allowing yourself to look from a different perspective. There's a quote that I saw that I absolutely love, and I would like to share it with you. There's actually a couple of them. This is Gary Douglas, the phenomenal founder of Access Consciousness. And in the Art of Greatness class in Venice a couple of years ago, he said, true greatness is the willingness to be intense when others are not. Expressing your greatness means showing up as you without any apology. Every one of us has an amazing capacity to shape this planet's future into something greater. The fact that you can see something other people cannot see is a brilliance. Most of what you've been hiding is not what is wrong about you. It is the greatness of you. Choose from the greatness of you. So, where have you not chosen from the greatness of you? Where have you not allowed yourself to have, to be, to choose, to ask for more than what anybody else around you has been willing to have and be and choose and ask for? And what if you would be willing? What would change? What would be different? See, that thing with the choosing from the greatness of us, So many of us have been told, and my parents never told me anything like that, for example, but I've heard it from other people. Oh, no, no, don't be too much. No, that don't be too weird. You'll stick out like a sore thumb. But when we're willing to actually embrace the gift that we be, that difference that we be, knowing that we see the world in a different way, we ask for things that may be different, we have a light, our own beautiful, brilliant light. If we'd be willing to allow it to shine forth, it's really cool because when we're willing to be the greatness of us, when we're willing to choose from the greatness of us, then we inspire other people to be able to choose the greatness of them as well. So the more we ask, the more we choose, the happier we are, the more different we're willing to be, not by resisting this world, but just by willing to be a different energy in it. The more possibilities show up everywhere. And it's so amazing because we have a choice. We can choose and we can enjoy inspiring ourselves and inspiring the rest of the world by just being willing to choose something different. In a recent class with Dr. Dane, I can't quite remember which of the classes that it was, he mentioned that the thing that we least do or the least willing to be is that greatness of us. And it reminded me of a poem that I read early on in my kind of discovery process, discovery journey. And it's called Our Deepest Fear by Marianne Williamson. I will actually put it into the comments because it is phenomenal. There we go. Okay, our deepest fear. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I love how she put that into words. Let me just figure out how to get back. Here we go. I'm going to put that in the comments. Hello, hello, Jose and Marbet. There you go. Sometimes that particular quote, I don't know why it has, oh, I guess it broke it up into different sections. Looks like I just made like 7,474 comments in there. That's kind of funny. But that's the thing that's really cool. When we are willing to be ourselves, good job, take a photo. Oh, do you want to be on a live stream and say hello? My son put on his tefillin. Hello. Thank you. Can I take a picture of you? Sure. Awesome. Awesome. I mean, on your back. That's cool. So my son and his friends went to a religious a weekend experience. From the time he was 13, he'd get together with about 3,000 other kids from around the world. Hi, Adriana. About 3,000 other kids from all around the world, and they got together and they were celebrating being themselves, the greatness of them as teenage Jews. And that was a kid from Panama, actually. They're getting on a Zoom call, and he put on the tefillin because he's turning it into a WhatsApp sticker. So besides the religious element, there's also, the fun teenage element, whatever. It's kind of funny. But look at that, not having shame. The whole idea of that get-together was to allow kids who generally, oftentimes in this world, get talked down. They try to hide the fact they're Jewish, or they try to hide something that's different or something that's a greatness about them. The really cool thing is that in this case, and his group, the C-Teen is what it's called, the C-Teen organization. You can look up C-Teen Shabbaton. It's very cool. If I were wearing a hat, I would be taking it off to them. It's beautiful because they got the kids to feel proud of being themselves. Now, what if instead of being fearful or ashamed or trying to cut off your difference and be just like everyone else, what if you'd be willing to shine as brilliantly, as differently, as weirdly, as wonderfully as you do, and recognize that your difference is not a wrongness. It is actually a greatness. And when you're willing to embrace it, and you're willing to step into it, and you're willing to allow it, that invites the rest of the world into having that for themselves. So I would hate to speak because I tend to ramble. And I do. I have this ADD brain, I guess, and I go in 10,000 directions all at once. I have an easier time communicating energetically than I do with words. I had an interesting conversation earlier with my friend Helen, and it was beautiful because I got to acknowledge part of my greatness is the wider scope of energetic communication that's available and that goes out. Words are a minor part of it. The rest of the energy is really a much, much greater aspect of the whole communication experience. So it's been very, very interesting. Where have you stopped yourself? Because somehow decided, or you bought, or you fathomed that you're wrong in some way. And what if that very thing that you've judged yourself for is a gift that's just waiting to be unwrapped? What gift is there in you? What gift are you when you stop trying to be like everyone else and allow you to be? What would it be like if you'd open up a space to begin to explore that? So today I was being facilitated on my communication in a different way, a communication that goes well beyond words. And I'm actually asking and not looking for an answer, just asking for the awareness. Show me, universe. What do I know? How's my communication contributing? What's next? And what can I add? What can I play with? What energy can I be to have much more ease and much more clarity with all of this? It's not a wrongness, it's a difference. And when we recognize that something about us is far more different than we've been willing to allow so far, and we begin to allow it, it becomes a dance between you and the universe. And it's that dance, that willingness, that's choosing from a greater space. I could sit here and throw 10,001 tools in your direction. I'm choosing not to do that. I love tools. I love the Access Consciousness tools. And I also recognize that beneath the tools, beyond the tools, in between the words of the tools, there is a space where you exist, where I exist, where possibilities exist. That if we just get still with it, if we allow it to permeate us, to break in through the separations and the defenses, it will open up a whole world of possibilities that we didn't even dream could exist. And what if we'd allow that? As we lower barriers, whether they're being permeated, being melted, or just simply, you know what? These barriers, these facades, these walls have been between ourselves and the world for eons. What's behind the walls? What's beneath the walls? If that wall wasn't real, like we thought it was, what energy could we be? What energy could we show up as? What contribution could we be? What's the world asking to receive from us that we haven't yet been willing to step into being? I wonder. And what if being that greatness and choosing from that greatness would create a whole different experience? I wonder that too. What's going to show up when we're willing to be seen? What's going to show up when we're willing to be a contribution? You can't be a contribution when you're hiding. You can't be a contribution when you're living as a scarcity of you, when you're living as a wrongness walking. What of you do you have to give? It's interesting, on holidays and Friday nights, whenever we do kiddush, we have a little silver goblet and we fill it. It's got a little saucer underneath and we fill it with wine. We don't fill it halfway. We don't pour a little, elegant little glass or something. No, 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 no. We fill it and overfill it so that it spills over, actually makes quite a fucking mess right into the saucer. But that's okay. We pour more so that our cup shall be full and that all the blessings will spread out everywhere. Well, if we're willing to live like that, live messily, live fully, live gloriously, we don't have to fit anybody else's profile of how to be, who to be, what's permissible or what isn't. No, no. What do you know? What works for you? What would choosing from the greatness of you be like? And what would choosing for greatness now and in the future be like? Because when you choose, you invite the whole world to choose too. There isn't just choosing selfishly. It doesn't exist. You're not alone on this planet. So when you choose for more, everybody's lives get exponentialized. So isn't that a gift? Hi, Neil. Good to see you too. Well, I've seen the comment. Thank you for saying hi. And yeah, it has been a very long time. So how does it get even better than that? How does it get even better than the world that we could be inviting the rest of the world to, if we're willing to be the greatness that we truly be? And recognize that your difference is a greatness. It may not look like it when you're looking at it through the little glasses that are shit covered, the judgments. But if we let those go, if we let the judgments go, just release them, what else would be possible? And how much more fun could we have? So this was a quickie before the rain. I already hear the thunder rolling closer. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I can't wait for tonight. I'm doing the last part of a 7-part telecall with my friend Rihanna on presence, potency, and power. And so that just kind of got my wheels churning. Where are we not being willing to be present in our lives? Where have we turned over our power to someone or something else? Where have we not acknowledged our potency, our capacity? and our gift that we be to the world. So see y'all later, and thank you for being here. Arrivederci.